All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Campolo. Welcome to episode 3 of Building Frameworks with Dash and stuff. In a bit of a different setup because I got relatives here, but should be fine. We're going to be continuing on where we were before. We had done React and Vue, and so we're going to do Svelte, Solid, Lit, and Preact. Then a vanilla JavaScript example, so that would give us like 7 examples, which is probably more than enough. I decided to take Alpine out because there wasn't like a Vite starter for that, so kind of stuck out. And then I took out TypeScript, so because. Let me go ahead and ping Ryan in case he wants to come watch. We got one person watching. All right. Hello, person out there in the world. Ooh, I got the AJC Web Dev Discord handle before anyone sniped it from me. Okay. It's a Ben. What's up? And you're watching on Dash Incubator's YouTube? Oh no, you're watching on mine now. Now came in. I'm streaming from 4 places. By the way, what's up, Ben? How are you doing? This is people from the Dash community. Probably don't know you, but this is accessibility expert and developer at Microsoft. What's the name of your team? Because I remember the name changed. So remind me of that. Something to do with education or learning, pretty sure. But Microsoft Learn. Yes, got it. A long-standing ally. Ooh, really interesting. Feel free to say more or not. Yeah. We should figure out a way to and make it worth your time where you can give me some accessibility tips on. I feel like my Astro website could probably, I don't know if there's, I hope there's no glaring holes with it, but there's always gonna be stuff we can improve. You're not really streaming anymore though, so I can't just hop on a stream and make you fix stuff for me. So all right, let me start sharing my code here. We can just jump right into it. Dash Queries Live. Double check all my windows. Yeah, see, there's a window. Close that window. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right, we remove link underlines, which makes them indicated by color alone. So you're easy to underline. It's like that's really funny. This is part of there's like weird CSS stuff that's been happening in mine because I had changed lots of like little things. This is one of the things that I had like tweaked and changed in the styling a little bit. And so there's like some small changes I made but never documented. So now that I'm trying to get parity back with the original template, I'm like reversing all these small CSS decisions I made, which in one sense is good because I had to like rethink whether it was actually the right thing or not. But getting the links to both change color and underline is the thing. I think it might be, it's already underlined. And then when you hover, both the text and the underline turn into a color. I think that's what the ideal thing I wanted was. Anyway, present screen. All right, you heard it here, folks. That's a fine approach. Yeah, it's not what I was doing right now, though, so I hate to get it to go back to doing the thing I want it to do. Okay, so let's kind of review just the last couple projects so we can get some context for what's going on here. I've also got most of the structure of this kind of figured out. Maybe I'll find the links. You can do whatever you want on interaction. Yeah. So I shouldn't make all of my links clickable divs. That's what you're saying. That would not be the thing to do. So one thing that might make this a little cleaner is if we created then one more subfolder that had each of these, but then you're having 2 nested subfolders to get to the front end frameworks. So I think I'm just going to keep it like this. And there's the API, which right now has this Express server. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get this one running, because this is what's going to serve up your Dash data. And I also have README instructions that should work with PNPM, NPM, or Yarn. I would recommend not using, actually. Yeah, okay, it's time. It's time. Don't need to include instructions for Yarn. People should not use Yarn, but it is set pretty well for PNPM right now. So this will get, actually, so I'm going to create another new wallet for if you're just getting started. Like, someone who clone this down totally from scratch. Let me just follow my own instructions. So first you clone it. Let me take that out. And then install dependencies. And then this will copy over your environment variable examples to this. It already has your network set to testnet, because I think that's like the only net running right now. And you can put if you already have a wallet address, a mnemonic, you can go ahead and fill those in. But if you're starting from scratch, you can run the create wallet script, which is here. So this is using the client. I ended up splitting the client up into two things, mostly because I wanted to be able to import client just from here without having to import it from the API, but I still want this single source of truth client in the actual API. So that's why I'm importing and exporting client just right here. But the client, some of the stuff I need to decide whether I want this to actually do this or not. But what would be nice is if it were to check whether you had a mnemonic or not, and then was able to decide whether to create a new wallet or not for you. Because if you run the create wallet command, I think you can get it to, with it, if you already have an account or a wallet in there, then it'll know what to do with that. But let's do this for now. Cool. But where we want to start is we want mnemonic to be null. That's, let me just pop it in here for now, and then take that. Okay, this should do what we want to do, I think. Let's find out. Great. That is the thing we wanted. And just copy paste that, pop it in here. And at this point, we're all set up to run the server. So the server, you'll npm serve it. And so I'm missing a step here, I believe. I gotta tell us to go into the API folder. Actually, though, no, hold on. Okay, so I've got this package.json, but not a package.json here. So I don't want to do that. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so it's trying to find API server, but it's in Express. There we go. Booyah. And now we can get this going again. So let's do a couple things here. Catch up on 3x. Yeah, so they're slow rolling the Discord usernames like Chantastic and Theo. They got theirs a couple weeks ago. Almost as popular as Chantastic and Theo by that logic. And more popular than you. But yeah, I mean, AJC Web Dev, who else would want it at this point? Okay, so this, we're going to go localhost 3001, name AJC Web Dev Test. Save the trexes. I'm not sure if I fully get that. I mean, I know it's like a plant save the trees, but what is the X? Like Star Trek? Save the T-Rexes. Oh, I see. Ambiguous. Save the T-Rexes. That makes a lot more sense. I was imagining Trex or Trexes as a single word. All right, this is now pulling in our dash domain name. So let me put this here. Nope. Verb. I like this one. Yep. Okay. And you can also set this, if you're so inclined, to here. And then I can bring in here. Server URL. Wait, this is the front end, not the server. So I want this in React over here. Yep. It's gonna work. I think React 18 doesn't make you do all the weird environment variable stuff you used to have to do. Let's see. Actually, I haven't even verified this works yet, so let's hold off on that. So now, since we're going to be using the React example, so we're done with this stuff. There's nothing. That's all the steps. So the steps were clone it, install dependencies, set up your .env file, create your wallet, serve your Express server, and then curl it. So at that point, any of the front ends are going to hit something like this. Okay. This, I definitely want to change. So this should be mnemonic here. I'm going to try leaving off the command for syncing and just see if it actually makes a difference or not. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to want to go into the README of our React. So we can go there from here. There we go. So if we look at this, you can kind of click into any of these projects from here, and it takes you straight to the README. And let's see if those steps still work. So now we're back here. Keep this running. Back to dash examples. And whether you want this step to also be there, I'm probably going to leave them in there because then someone who jumps straight to a front-end example, they could just do this and that. I should probably warn them, though. They need to set up their server first, though. For now, though, let's do this. So it would have been like that. And then I also included the component in the README of each, because each of them, this logic is all boiled down to just a single component. And it's kind of cool seeing them all in comparison, because they're all written by ChatGPT, except the React one, it's so consistent in terms of how it names each variable, like how it translates, like where the state is, like where the trigger fetch is, and it's pretty awesome. It would have taken me a while, or I would have just done like half-assed versions for half the frameworks, So ChatGPT. Oh yeah, and on Monday I'm gonna be with the Dash Weekly show again to kind of talk about using ChatGPT to build a lot of these out. It was really easy. Like the Vue one worked out of the box, the Svelte one worked out of the box. I think all of them worked out of the box except Angular, and that's because I was using Analog, which is a new framework. If a framework did not exist prior to September 2021, then you're going to have significantly worse chances of getting ChatGPT to understand what you're doing, unless you want to feed it a bunch of context code. So if I kind of fed it a bunch of individual files of an analog project, that it would be able to figure out kind of what's going on. But there was something in the router, and luckily I'm good friends with the creator of that framework, so I'll just ask him, hey, what's happening? But aside from that, the lit example I think even worked. So let's look at this one right now. So pm dev, but I need to fix the package.json in this one. This is kind of a holdover from when this was all in the one package.json, and I had npm run all command, so you could run both your server and your front end at the same time. That's still pretty nice to do, and I might go back and include those steps and just throw it in the README if someone wants to just run a single command to get everything set up all at once. Or even be cool, like do a command that would run the server and then every single front-end framework on a different port. Just because chaos is fun. Okay. This looks good so far. Will it fetch the data? Fetch the data. All right. So now let's go back and see if we could do this like that. Yeah, no. Because you need to do, there's a thing. Actually, no, it's because it's Vite. Vite is the one who has the thing. Vite environment variables. Import.meta.env. I always forget. I might do it. Oh, got part of the way there. I probably freaked out because it didn't turn into a string correctly or something. Or maybe do that. Okay. Not worth it to figure out right now. Because you can just kind of, for now, just hard code localhost in there. And then I still haven't deployed this anywhere yet. Let me just try this on Railway. But that's another thing for another time. Okay, so we got the React one, and then let's just double check the Vue one. That should be all good. So I'm gonna kick out of here, go into Vue. I gotta fix these package.jsons also. Cool. Okay, so you do notice just a slight thing that's different now. It's showing null here, whereas React, I think it was just blank. So that's something to fix. Right now, though, I want to just get all the examples working. So let's make a note of that. Readjusting. Screen. Real estate is valuable. Okay. 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 That's right. We need these separate. That's what I want. Okay. Great. So view works. We changed anything yet? Of course we have. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's terrible. That's good. Let's do this though. Boom. Boom. And yeah, save this also. Okay. Great. Actually, I do want this here. Yeah. And just to make sure, I'll link back up to here. Okay. That's all good housekeeping. Let's commit this. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay, so now let's do Svelte. Close. Great. Oh, this I don't know if either of you or anyone else watches Dax, one of the people behind SST. He did like a Between Two Ferns parody with Fred Schott a while ago, and he just put out one yesterday with Rich Harris and the creator of Svelte. It's really funny. We're back on Lex Friedman. Yeah, this is the stuff. It's so funny. Okay, let's get back to this. Get the Svelte one going. Yeah. Great. Okay. Oops. Great. There's also, I was gonna make a note. View. Great. And then also, you'll notice that should be here. I had it correct with a little bit of CSS. I got lost in the process at some point. Fix. And then, okay, so now it's undefined. Last time I was time it's undefined because JavaScript. That's really funny. Okay, great. Let's do solid now. So that, I should change that. That's obnoxious. This one, unlike all the others, went to 3000. Solid, having fun with us. Okay. Previously, it has been the one that's hard to remember. 5 something. Where was it? Hey, what's up, Fuzzy? How you doing? Have you started your new job yet? That's super exciting. Congratulations. Boom. Good to see you. Yeah, great to see you too. Your new gig is at the Linux Foundation, right? Or like a thing that's under or a part of. I know that's many interlocking chambers of things. So I have no idea what their structure is, but I'm pretty sure that's where you ended up. Something in that area. Great. You'll notice this looks like just create React app. I mean, I can't believe it because you're a fuzzy bear, obviously. Who wouldn't want to hire a fuzzy bear? I'll hire a fuzzy bear in a second. Okay, so this one needs a lot of work on the styling. This one starts with, hey, look at that. No null or undefined. And I bet going from JSX to JSX probably made that smoother. That's what one of my now bosses said. Which thing specifically? Oh, this is where I had. Did this actually work? I think it did. Anyway. Great. So no. Oh, I know why. Because I just set it as a string here. I didn't do a process type env at all. Of course, that works. Wow, when we hire a fuzzy bear, yeah, that's right. What was your connection to that? Like, did you know someone there already who was working, or did you reach out, or did they reach out to you? Be curious. They're like, hey, we want some of that Scottish energy. We don't have no Scottish people, obviously. So what is Dash? Dash. So I don't remember where you fell on the whole cryptocurrency thing, but Dash is a cryptocurrency. I think you're someone to express as solid. Yeah, so you almost can't tell at all this is a crypto project, can you? So that's a very fuzzy story. Yeah, I bet I can imagine you would have dabbled in this at some point, but Dash is aimed at trying to make a cryptocurrency, which is the Dash cryptocurrency, actually usable as a currency you can spend to buy things because more fuzzier than Astro story. They're actually, so I got a funny crypto Astro story. If you go to this, Ben Holmes and me, I built out a project using, this is the one, taking Astro to the moon with QuickNode. So we connect a Astro to just a Ethereum smart contract. So that's the thing, every Web3 stack has a front end framework, and Astro is like a perfect one to use. That's why I'd always say Web3 is Jamstack by default, because they all have a decoupled, client that's fetching from a back end. It just doesn't fetch Markdown or JSON or from a database. It just does it on the blockchain. It's just any other endpoint. So I'm doing this, and yeah, so Dash is paying me in Dash to build these examples and to stream it. And they have a DAO that is apparently functional, and they have a certain percentage of mining fees set aside to pay for a core team to build features and maintain. And this is, so I've been saying this for years. I recognized this back in 2018. I made this pitch many times in 2022 that Web3 and DAOs, if they're set up correctly, have a solution, a sustainable solution to funding open source. We've always talked about there's no solution to make sustainable open source. And so that's why we have all these VCs feeding all this money. And it's like, no, we actually have a perfectly viable solution. And I now know it's a viable solution because the money is in my bank account. But yeah, it's pretty rare, I think, for a project to get to this point. But this is why Dash is a very interesting project and has been around for close to 10 years now. Okay, so I missed this one. Comparing Rich to the Game of Thrones model. Yeah, oh yeah, he's watching the video. So Ryan, you should make more of a pitch to Fuzzy about why Dash is cool. I think I covered most of the things you usually cover. Here we go, the original DAO. That's great. I like that someone wrote this article already for me 7 years ago. Is this really that old? Wow. Disclaimer, we take no responsibility for this article you're about to read. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when did those come out? So it started. Yeah, proposed in 2014. That's what I thought. Because this also has governance stuff in it. So it would have been around the same time. I mean, I'd be curious, basically, when I'm recommending any of these things to people, I would want to know, first, have you ever even purchased a cryptocurrency? Do you have you ever used a wallet? Do you want to figure out how to build apps with them? Do you want to learn how to interact with them? I mean, I know you're not trying to get into Web3 right now, but I know you're an actually curious dude. So I think that if you wanted to kind of check out what is an interesting cryptocurrency project right now, Dash is one that I'll point to. Also, I don't know if you know AJ from Jabber. Yeah, so let me show what I did in the beginning. So there's this thing called the Dash. So there's this Dash client. So what the Dash client does is it's connecting us to the Dash blockchain network, and it's feeding it so think of this like your credentials. This is like an API key. This is something you wouldn't want to leak, something you wouldn't want to expose on the client. So it has to be server side. It's very, very important that this never, ever is client side. So Express right now is managing that. What I eventually want to do is have them run as serverless functions. So this allegedly should be what I would want to do, where it's using a Vercel function, and then this is using a Netlify function. Both of these hit weird snags due to some dependencies in the Dash library, because just with any of these platforms, it's guaranteed to break the first time. And then you test it and you figure out where it breaks, and then you make a change, and sometimes you have to ask the deployment company what the heck's going on, because both of these things are AWS Lambda, but because Netlify built many conventions and Vercel built many conventions, you arrive at two slightly different implementations of the same thing, which is kind of frustrating. But the thing we're going to want more so is we're going to want these to run on edge functions. So that's even more complicated, because then it can't use a node environment at all. So I kind of punted on all that, and I'm just using the Express server right now. And the Express server is barely doing anything. So all it's doing is, initialize the app, set your CORS thingy, and then I have a route for name, and then it's going to take whatever name you gave it. So that's why when we're curling it, we are doing let's see, basically like that. So that's what I wanted. Is this still going? I broke something somewhere along the way, but I guess you two are the same. Yeah, for sure, and that's a whole thing. So, but anyway, when you curl name / whatever. Oh, I know why. Okay, so this is our endpoint. What it's doing is these functions are kind of the most important thing of what's happening here. So it takes your identity name, and then what it does is it sets that to name. So it'll be AJC webdev test.dash, and then that is the name that resolves, because this is like how Ethereum has ENS. They have the Ethereum name service to where you can have AJC webdev.eth, and then you can like send money to it or create websites based off of it. So I loved crypto domains. It was one of my favorite things to work with when I was doing Web3 stuff, because it is connected to the actual web, because it's, their domain names and it's DNS and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't entirely work with DNS out of the box in normal browsers, which in one sense is like, it's why those things need to change before that's actually going to work for normal people. But it's also kind of fun, because then you realize there's ways to build things with and without DNS, which is a strange thing, because if you're someone who went to a boot camp and just learned the basics, all this stuff, you didn't even learn DNS. So DNS is the thing that was just going on in the background. I don't do sales, Ashland. But fuzzy, if you download Dash Wallet and post an address, I'll send you a bitch play. Yeah, no, you should definitely take him up on that. This is how I would get people into this. I would tell them to download a MetaMask wallet and just give me their address, and then I would send them a Loopy Donut. And you all know what the Loopy Donut is. It's my avatar now for like over a year, because they're like $5 or $10. They're super, super cheap. So I have like 5 on hand at any point in time, and just give people. It is not the web. Well, it's not DNS, but there's the web that is also outside. Like, is email the web? Yeah, maybe not. Or are mobile apps the web? Those, yeah, I don't know if all those work exactly the same way. IPFS is the really cool one though, because IPFS is not DNS, but it's very obviously the web. It's just a different way to access the web. So, yeah. I mean, even Tim Berners-Lee is all in on Web3. He will never put it that way, but Tim Berners-Lee is building a rebranded Web3 project. So, father of the internet says, We can't be locked in silos like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. This is the first thing, this is the first pitch I would make every interview I ever gave about Web3. Then you can add solid, where you have user data, where users get to share what the users want to share. So you give the power back to the users away from the platform. That was the second thing I would always say on every interview I gave about Web3. But you won't see the term Web3 anywhere on here because no one wants to use that term because he didn't want headlines to say Tim Berners-Lee builds cryptocurrency project and hangs out with Sam Bankman-Fried and snorts Adderall. Like, that's what people think now when they think of Web3. So he's like, no, I'm just going to build the thing that they're already building and call it something else and pretend like people won't notice. All right, anyway. Let me get my tabs back under control. He's only with the portal project. I have no idea what the portal project is. There's a lot of those. I just know Portal, like the video game. Yeah, he calls it solid, which is also extremely confusing. It's like, bro, that name is taken. Seems like cool tech, though. Is the similar thing with Blue Sky? Blue Sky is a Web3 kind of project, like innately, and makes the same pitch and has the same benefits, but it just doesn't use the term. Like, it completely avoids it, and that worked out well for it, I think. I don't care. We've already renamed it a bunch of times. It used to be Bitcoin or blockchain, not Bitcoin, and Web3, not blockchain. Now we're going to come up with another name. Yeah, so yeah, that's interesting. I would be curious to see what that looks like when you actually do this, Ryan, because I got a .eth one set up pretty good, and then things happened, mistakes were made, and then I got some unstoppable domains that were pretty cool, and then Cloudflare has the .xyz domains, which is really interesting. So I have a whole bunch of crypto domains, but I never obviously implemented any of them. It was register an identity. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, given the DNS compatible nature, they're technically domain names that register under something. Okay, so this is in conflict with this. Someone here is lying. Unless they're like, it's compatible with DNS. They're technically domain names. That doesn't mean you have a domain, though. Because obviously, if you go to AJC web dev test.dash, nothing's going to happen, What happened? I need to download Brave. Brave browser can do that kind of stuff automatically. Okay, so it looks like this is the part I haven't gotten into yet. This stuff. Oh, but this is the thing that this is just what's generated for you, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would say in general, I think you need more docs about DPNS because it shows up throughout when you're actually creating the identity. And then you have this thing right here. It's not really enough. context, I don't think, especially if you're saying this is DNS compatible and that it works with DNS, but like that's it. Like that, do I need a text record? Like, because when you do, this was so complicated. A lot of steps. So you were doing stuff like this. And then you have DNSSEC coming into it. Yeah, so you can add a text record. This would be one way to do it. And then I know with IPFS, do they have DNS link? And this is going to be, I imagine what you guys are doing is going to be more in line with ENS and not IPFS, because IPFS is linking you to a whole file system, whereas ENS, you're just linking to an address on the blockchain at the end of the day. I never really fully understood, though, how then you would also be able to grab an IPFS hash and stick it in a text record, and then it like just it figures out that that's the magic that I wouldn't understand how to do. Okay, not meant for today. Okay, where was I? I think I was in solid. Great. We still got Preact. Do this. Let me save myself. The context switching. Should work now. Boom, boom, boom. Preact. Yes. And this one, no, null or undefined. Cool, cool. Yeah. Get out of here. Why can't I close this? There we go. So lit. Okay, so that makes sense. Lit, I hadn't. This was the last one I hadn't actually imported. This might be it. Okay, we're all gonna get to find out together whether this works. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, this is the problem with Lit being the only framework that ChatGPT might have biffed it on, because this is the only framework I don't know how to use. Okay, I think I can figure this out. Let's start by doing this. That all goes above render. Render's here. Okay, here's where there's something going on right here. I got a feeling. So let's stick with my element. And then we're going to have two render functions for a second. slot. Pretty sure I don't. Okay, it's only a button. Don't need that. Okay, so don't think I need that. Yeah, because my click is just throwing that function right in there. Is this still humming along? Good. Pretty close, I think. Okay. I don't need that. I don't need constructor at all. Something to do. I just need a constructor just because. This is why I don't know how class components work. Yeah, the problem is because I had to mash the two components together in a way that I probably didn't know what I was doing. Oh, that's right. So I can't do this. So let's chat GPT it up at this point. This lit component is only displaying the H1 and not the button for fetching the dash. It's gonna be something super obvious, I'm sure. Probably don't need two of those. Yeah. And this is a JS file. Okay, let's see what happens. That's not good. Ooh, I think that's the issue. Oh, I just realized. Oh, nope. No one's talking at me. Let me fix my screen real estate a bit. Oh, is I running two servers at once? Oh no, that's lit. This is Preact. Okay. I'm probably gonna have to hop off fairly soon. Let's see if I can get this last one working. Okay. Okay, let me first, before I go down too deep with this, I'm going to do a couple sanity things. So let's. I'm just deleting all extra PM locks and node modules because I'm not sure if lit keeps up with all the hot new. Sometimes PM, like Edgeo doesn't really support PNPM, which makes me very sad, but sometimes it's good to just check NPM. Okay, great. And this will take 5 hours to empty. Let's see, I probably got changes to commit. Yep, notes, form good, notes, and then this travesty. Maybe I should just be doing that. Okay, first though. Okay, so start by installing and then run the server. And this will take a little bit longer because NPM is slow. Okay, so I'm gonna commit all this, but not that. Yep. Perfect. Sweet. Okay, then this will be npm run serve. All good. Let's see what happens with this. Here we go. Yeah, see, look at that. James Doe. What's up, James Doe? Yeah, so you notice how the fact that this is a different error at all tells you that something funky going on between npm and pnpm there, and this makes sense because we're talking about dependencies and monorepos and stuff always gets dicey. This might be. So if JavaScript decorators aren't supported, what does that mean for lit? And ChatGPT right me out of date. Look, I thought it's just using the platform. Shouldn't it never break? It's using the platform. Oh my god. Okay, here's my current component. I switched to PM. This might be an issue as well. Let's see. That should be okay. But it's telling me. And in this example, I want to make sure ChatGPT knows what I'm asking it. So I'm going to feed it probably more information than it necessarily needs, but it's good to give it more than too little. Because if you give it too little, it's going to be like, yeah, here's some things it could be. But if you just give it your actual, all your stuff and junk, it'll be like, okay, I can see all your code. I know how to fix this because I'm a godlike robot. Okay. Here's my page.json. Here is my main.js file. Okay. Pretty good. Should probably just delete stuff like this. I might not need this actually. Let me go back to this was the original thing. Skip sync. That's where you're wrong. See, so we went through all of these examples, right? So I had a Preact example, a solid example, a Svelte example, and a Vue example. All of those were examples written by ChatGPT and worked on the first try. So it's only once we got to this one obscure older framework that was using all this stuff. I get to see this. Yeah. All right, later, man. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. Yep, yep. Too many windows. Okay, let's just do this. Oh, they are supported in TypeScript. Interesting. Oh, God, I already hate this. Yeah, no. Goodbye. Okay, that was easy. Yeah, no one's going to ask you for lit, so I mostly just want to do that so I can kind of learn how to use it a little bit because I've never used lit before. It was pretty much what I expected. Enhance would be a better one. Okay, I got to hop off. This was super fun. I will be back sometime next week. Find out later. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Bye.